Peace and love for the cat people. I didn't think you left Warwick.
I don't like to leave Warwick unless I have to.
Bananas.
75 yards from shore and come across a great white shark.
75 yards?
He calls himself a Swiftie. Unbelievable. Every single day went and got hot wieners my entire senior year.
Oh, yeah.
You're not even qualified to vote on this.
I want to know what the people think. They're trying to sell the house.
Ding, ding, ding. Winner, chicken dinner.
Well, let's kick it off. I mean, Nate Dogg, rate his new intro to the podcast.
12.
I mean, you can't go any higher. I mean, it's unbelievable. It's perfect. Great job. All right. Welcome to Shootin, the SHT, real banter with Nick and a JT from the Slocum home team, episode number 3. Welcome to the party. How's it going there, John?
It's unbelievable. I'm really excited. Back for episode 3. It's a note that most podcasts don't make it past episode 3.
Why do you got to step on my toes? I mean, that's the next thing in the agenda, and you just totally... You're the color. I'm the point person. I run the plays. I'm the point guard. You're the color. Just add color when I ask you to, please. Thank you. So,
you gotta be faster.
all right. So John already stole my thunder, is that I read a stat that 90% of podcasts don't make it past episode 3. So there's a 9 out of 10 chance that this is the last time you'll hear from us.
No shot.
Absolutely. I agree 100%. What do you think over there, Nathan David? I think it's highly likely. He's just chuckling. You can't hear him. Doesn't have a microphone.
You can't get rid of us.
No, he's fantastic. So, John, what do you, I mean, last time we talked about the prior episode. Any thoughts, takes on episode 2?
I thought it was better. There was improvement over the first. Hopefully this is an improvement over the second one.
I hope so. I feel a little self-conscious about this microphone being very close to my face, but apparently that's the feedback that the brilliance behind the camera and the microphones had to deliver to us.
It's fine. It's like a long extension of your chin. Gives you a nice...
That's exactly what I was going for. Thank you so much. All right. So, yeah, I'm excited. I'm enjoying it. Episode 3. I mean, I think we'll steadily improve. Here's what hoping anyway. And we'll go from there. So let's jump on into some industry news. Speaking of industry news, we just recently returned from a conference. We went down to Tom Ferry's Elite Retreat in Florida last week. We were down there Sunday through Tuesday or so. Mm-hmm. And I was really looking to see what kind of takeaways you have, John. What'd you think? What's your initial reaction? And what do you got to share with the people at home?
It was a great week. Came back all fired up for the remainder of the year. I think we have an awesome year ahead. Year of the fives. So they are saying rates could be in the 5s by the end of the year. They predict they will be. 5% appreciation rate. So they're projecting a big year ahead. Great takeaways for us going forward for sales, for the team. And I had some great bonding time with my guy Nick here.
We did have some good bonding time, that's for sure. So, yes, Tom talked about KCM's year of the 5s. He did say if rates were to hit the 5s, it might be 5.9, it might be for only one day, but he is predicting that they do go into the 5s at some point.
It would be a 5.
That would be a 5 handle. That would be a wonderful thing for the market, that's for sure. And 5.5 million sales. For comparison's sake, we had about 4 million sales last year, so an additional 1.5 million. That would be a fantastic improvement in the marketplace.
Sure would.
Tom also talked quite a bit about 4 converging forces impacting the market here in 2024. The main one being the election coming up later this year. What are your thoughts on that, Johnny?
I think it's going to get loud. There's going to be a lot of talk about the election. A lot of people sometimes later in the year will say, I'm going to wait and see what happens after the election. So I think it's going to get very noisy on the radio, on the TV. See billboards. People are going to be calling you. So it's going to get loud.
It certainly is. And that's part of the reason why he recommended that we front load our marketing this year. So get ready to see more and more of our beautiful faces between now and July 1st.
Oh, lucky you.
He also said that if you're for our agent friends out there, if you post anything political, in his words, you're a dumbass.
He's absolutely right.
Absolutely right. And he actually mentioned the Michael Jordan example. So why don't you add something to that?
MJ, I believe they asked him at one point why he didn't get into politics, and he said, both parties buy my shoes.
It's true.
And he's absolutely right. So regardless of your opinion, I'm sure everybody has one, don't share it, because either way, you're going to piss off half your audience.
That's right. 3 other factors, converging forces impacting 2024 and 2025, potential rate cuts with the Fed, pent-up demand from buyers sitting on the sidelines, and a total lack of inventory. What are we seeing for inventory levels in Rhode Island as of today, March 6th?
Back over 600. Happy to report. It's been ticking up a little bit lately, and I know we've been having a lot of conversations with some sellers. We have some upcoming listings. So I think it's going to be an early spring, which we very badly need.
Absolutely. Any other takeaways that we want to touch upon? I mean, I think there's a few. I mean, what about tossing the hat? Is that something we want to dive into, or is
I love that story. Sure, I think that could be applicable to people in any industry or in life. I told the story of two young boys in Scotland that would visit this wall daily.
Yes.
And there was this stone wall in front of them, and they always wanted to know what was on the other side. They were hesitant. They knew they would be in trouble. They didn't want to get stuck over there. But mainly, I think they just knew their parents would kill them if they went over the wall. And back in the 1800s, they probably only had one hat. They didn't have much. So one day, friend A took friend B's cap, tossed it over the wall.
Tossed it right over the wall.
Right over the wall.
Uh-huh.
And he looked at his friend. And he's like, "That's my hat. What are you doing?"
Got to go get it now, right?
Got to go get it now.
So what's the hat you need to toss? What are we going to throw over the wall? What are we going to jump into that makes you uncomfortable? I would say this podcast is part of the hat, tossing the hat.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
It's been a blast. I'm glad we chucked that hat over the wall.
We've been talking about it for a long time
Yeah.
before. Nate, the opening of the seltzers in the background. Wow.
How many do you have back there? That's not the first time I've heard it.
I always have 4.
All right. So that is the toss the hat story. Let's keep going. Front loading, we talked about a little bit. He also brought up one of my favorite stories about the bison, the buffalo. And I actually brought this up in my installation as well. Not that I created the story by any stretch, but
Tom Ferry must have copied this from you.
absolutely not. Tom is a brilliant guy, and I'm sure he has much better resources than I. But anyway, there's an old parable about buffalo or bison and the difference between buffalo and cows. And when a storm is approaching, cows' instinct is to turn around and run away from the storm, which inevitably prolongs their time in the storm, its effects upon them, and it makes life much more difficult. Whereas buffalo and bison, they actually turn and charge into the storm, and they feel its effects quicker, but they're also through onto the other side faster. So I think it's a great analogy, a great metaphor. Metaphor is the right word, I believe. To basically, when you're facing something extremely difficult, just hit it head on. And there's certainly enough difficult things and challenging circumstances in everyone's life and in our industry, that's for sure.
Absolutely. I love it.
Be the bison. You gotta.
Be the bison.
Absolutely.
By the way, how's your coffee?
My coffee is fantastic. So it is hitting the spot here in the early afternoon and giving me a little jolt of caffeine, a little bit of extra energy. How's your coffee doing?
I don't have a coffee, actually. A little tired. I could use some energy right now. Been up seen your smiling face since 5 a.m. today, so I could certainly use a little afternoon pick-me-up, but I was not offered one, so let's move on
my
from
cousin
that.
Christopher apparently knows how to keep his favorite people even closer because he texted me and asked if I wanted a coffee, and I simply just, answered his question. So,
Noted. Thank you, Christopher.
anything else we want to talk about? I think we kind of hit it. Be the bison, the front loading.
How about the 70-30? I think that's a good life message there.
I think it is too, and I know that really resonated with both of us. So basically what he was saying, if you really, truly, and honestly evaluated your effort level on a daily basis, most people, not everyone, most people are operating around 70%. However, if you can find a way to tap into that additional 30%, that's where the true benefits in life are, whether it's business, your personal life, whatever. If you can go that extra mile, if you can tap into that 30%, that's where you level up.
Nothing's going to change. Things don't change.
Love it. Man, I'm ready to go. Let's run through a wall, JT. Let's go.
That's it. That's why we started the 5 a.m. club.
That's it. We'll talk about that in a little bit. I don't think there's anything else we needed to cover here, but it was a great conference. My initial reaction was, we've been to a lot of conferences. One of my favorite conferences that I've ever attended.
Absolutely.
We were surrounded by some of the top team leaders in the entire country, people doing insane amounts of business, really brilliant people, and it was an absolute joy to get to know them a little bit better and to continue to work to level up here. So
For sure.
I'm pumped. I'm ready for the next one.
Bison, let's go.
Let's go. Charge the storm. All right. Moving on to the next topic. Market updates. And let me tell you a little bit about market updates. We had our monthly meeting this morning on Wednesday, March 6th, first Wednesday of the month. And I run the stats, typically the night before because I always put it off until the very last minute, mainly because I'm procrastinating, but also because I want the most recent relevant information. So I feel like I'm breathing very loud into this microphone right now.
Because it's down your throat.
I know, it's far too close. So
Closer this time.
I am your father. Speaking of weird noises, both of you were making pig noises before this whole podcast.
I don't understand how you can't do it.
You scratch your inner ear by making noises?
I don't scratch my inner ear. It's in your throat.
Oh, I get one over here. Yeah.
You do that in your ear?
I can do it. It scratches my inner ear. Yeah.
Interesting.
That's
No.
what they make Q-tips for, isn't it? You guys are
No, it makes it itchier.
psychotic. All right, market stats. Looking, we know how to make market stats fun. Just like making pig noises over here. So, market stats: Rhode Island single-family home sales. We're looking at specifically here single-family home sales comparing February of 2024 with February of 2023. And my goodness, let's dive in. New listings up over 5%. Boom. Total sales up over 9%. Bam. Average sales price up almost over 18.5% at $553. Median sales price up almost 14%. Holy cannoli, John. Take it home. What do we got?
Average price per squid.
Oh, bringing it back to the squid, the calamar. Let's
The
go.
average price per square foot up almost 12% at $345. And average sales price to list price ratio. I'm struggling to talk today.
Mario Andretti now this week. We got squid last week. We got ratio here this week.
Average sales price to list price ratio, 100%, no change there. And average days on market down about 7.5%.
Love it, love it, love it. And it even gets crazier in some of these stats. Look at condos. New listings up over 33% in February, 185 new listings. Total sales up over 35%. 85 in 2023 and 115 in 2024. It's all great news. Average sales price up almost 5%. Median sales price up about 6.5%. Average price per
Square foot per squid.
Yes, up over 56%. And that sounds crazy, but there was one massive sale. I think it was like a 1.22 million condo. Yes, so that skews the numbers a little bit. Average days on market also increasing. A little bit more inventory, a little bit more new listings, maybe a little bit lower demand, and we're seeing a little bit longer days on market, about a 30% increase.
Yep.
Multis, very similar. New listings up 31.5%. Total sales, not quite that big of a
Not
jump.
a ton, but up.
Up 1.33%. Average sales price coming in at $540-ish, 18.77% increase. Median sales price $520 on those multis. That's crazy, $520.
You're not kidding. Look at a few years ago.
Yep. 2017. Not even going back 10 years. 2017, the median sales price for a multifamily home in Rhode Island, $179,000. I wish I bought every one of those. Oh, I mean, man, hindsight.
How nice would that be?
Ugh. Whew. Kicking myself in the ass on that one.
Average price per square foot on the multis, $186.
Who cares about price per square foot? Let's move on. Warwick single family stats.
Jeez.
Warwick, our hometown where we're based out of, where we are sitting right now. Insane. New listings, 57% increase.
57%.
57% increase. Humana. Total sales, 22.7% increase. Average sales price up 23 and change. Median sales price up 25 and change. Median sales price in Warwick, $400,500.
That's a huge jump year over year.
Big jump.
25%.
25. Not a bad little investment there. I wish I bought more
Yeah,
homes.
absolutely.
All right, Kent County. Similar numbers, 35% increase on new listings. Man, this is good news. Spring market is heating up. If you are a seller, jump in the game, let me tell you, because you can beat the incoming flood of competition.
Absolutely.
That is faux.
I think it's going to be a big year, big spring, and starting now. So
Now,
get out
I
there.
got to ask you, do they think these numbers are skewed because we had one extra day this year compared to last year?
Gosh darn it, that's probably it.
Yeah,
I think
it
that
is.
one extra day.
I don't think the
That's
leap
what
year
did
made
it.
that much of a difference, but it is interesting.
Yeah.
All right, 29 days. Shortest month of the year. All right. WPRI. Good friends over at WPRI last week. They had a whole focus on housing last week.
Yeah.
And not in a positive light. They came out with numerous articles. They had a special on the news at numerous points. I believe our friend Chris Whitten from the North was featured on one of their shows. But in essence, numerous negative headlines came out from WPRI about the housing market last week.
Talking about why it's unaffordable.
Let's listen to some, or let's read some of these headlines. Staggering. Why it's now unaffordable to buy a home in any Rhode Island city or town. That's number one. Number 2, housing crisis. In Rhode Island, worsening shortage of homes sends prices soaring. We just saw that. That's for damn sure. Number 3, from bad to worse to disaster. Disaster. Rhode Island again ranks last for new housing permits.
Running out of space.
That's kind of my initial reaction. I mean, we can always do more, but I mean, Rhode Island, we're freaking small. So we only have so much land. I mean, we could do more. We could definitely do more.
Absolutely.
And we should make, I know Speaker of the House, Joseph Sicarci, has made some wonderful introductions and bills recently that have passed to hopefully make some commercial conversions and the process a bit easier, a little bit less red tape, and we need it. We need more housing units, and we're going to talk more about housing units in a bit. So I'm glad to hear that our elected officials are working towards that. It's not an easy problem to solve.
Nope.
But it's one we need to be focused on. That's for sure. But my main takeaway was WPRI. Where you been? This has been going on for freaking 4 years.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh man. It's been going on for a while.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think I'm,
Probably
probably
longer than that, actually.
probably going to get yelled at for getting ahead here, getting ahead of myself. But
Stop.
we have a combination of things here.
Yes.
We have millennials and Gen Z
Yep.
in that prime age where they're looking to buy. We have the boomers who don't want to go anywhere, and we have the lock-in effect. So all those people who would be providing the inventory to the millennials and Gen Z, they're not going anywhere.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So that leads right into our next topic. Apparently, Gen Z and millennials didn't get the memo.
No.
Didn't get it.
Nope, they're ready.
Americans are holding on to the dream of homeownership. According to an article that dropped a little over a week ago, I believe it was in the home stretch on last Friday, Americans are holding on to this dream, and they said that 40% of would-be buyers are ready to leap into the housing market if rates hit what KCM is predicting this year, something just under the 6%.
599.
599. If that happens, 40% of millennials and Gen Z, huge segment of the population,
Oh, yeah.
are ready to dive in. What do you think is going to happen in demand? What do you think is going to happen to prices if that were to happen?
Skyrocket.
Skyrocket.
In addition to prices going up, that would also intensify those bidding wars.
It would.
It would be pretty nutty out there.
It would. All right. And why are we in this situation? So we thought we'd give some context to why we're here. And it didn't just happen this past week. It's been going on for a long time. But there is a dramatic shortfall of housing available.
You're not kidding.
I ran some stats. So I didn't run the stats. I'm reporting on the stats here. So a new report from Realtor.com shows that there is a 7.2 million unit shortfall across our country due to more than a decade of underbuilding. In 2023, household formations grew by 1.7 million, resulting in 17.2 million total new households between 2012 and 2023. So there's been 17.2 million new households over that decade.
It's a lot of households.
It's a lot of new households. Do you think there's been 17.2 million units of built?
Nope.
That's for sure. That's spot on, John. Man, you are brilliant. Realtor.com isn't the only source to analyze the housing supply shortage. Few other entities and organizations. Fannie Mae estimated way back in October of 2022 that we were underbuilt at that time by 4.4 million units. Zillow in 2023 estimated that we had a 4.3 million deficit. Bank of America in January of 2023 estimated a shortfall of at least 4 million units. Freddie Mac, almost 4 million, 3.8 million, and that was back in 2021. And our good friend, who was making an appearance at the Kent Washington Association of Realtors conference on September 9th, Lawrence Yun, the chief economist of the National Association of Realtors, estimates U.S. housing is currently underbuilt by 3 to 4 million units.
That's your guy.
That is my guy. I'm a
You're
Lawrence
such a
Yun fanboy.
You are such a fanboy.
I'm ready for him to come and get a little bit of Rhode Island twist and flair to that report. He's good.
Are you going to be on the sidewalk when he pulls up to the Ryan Center with a poster board? Lawrence!
I mean, why not? Just, maybe a full-blown fathead or something.
Oh, boy.
Everyone's like, who the hell is Lawrence Yun? No, he's a brilliant guy. Brilliant. So let's move along. Home buyers need to earn $47,000 more than they had to in 2020 to afford the I believe it's the Zillow Home Value Index typical home price.
Yeah.
Let's unpack this a little bit. Let's rewind this. So also on affordability, it's a challenge for buyers out
big
there.
problem.
Right? Big problem for buyers. I saw a Twitter or an X thread or whatever you want to call it these days about someone just going off like, how do you afford a home in today's market? Now, it's tough. I get it. So in essence, they did this study. They looked at the Zillow Home Price Index now compared to 2020, along with the median income for households in the same time period. Now in 2024, you need $47,000 more than you did just a few short years ago, 2020, to buy that home. So, I mean, it's a challenge, no doubt about it. The chart is assuming 10% down, using that typical home price. How do you think Rhode Island's stacked out without cheating? Because I know you didn't prepare for this podcast.
I did cheat, so so I'll just generalize before I spoil it on you.
Yeah.
This one really struck a chord with me because I feel for buyers out there. You can see it. You see the price differences, but also with rates, you see just looking back a few years compared to now when you sit at a closing, the monthly payments for these buyers is so much higher than it was.
It is.
I feel for them. It's tough out there, but that doesn't mean there's not opportunity. And as we always say, for buyers, what's important is make sure you're comfortable now.
Yes.
Secure a home, add a down payment, and a monthly payment that you are comfortable with.
You're kind of jumping ahead on me now because I wanted to bring this exactly up of what should buyers do once they got to the end of these points. But
That's what I'm here for.
thank you. I mean, I'm glad we got that flow down after only working together for 10 years. So we'll get there.
I'll let you spoil the news on Rhode Island.
Providence, the Providence metro market. Not only is it $47,000 more that you need, the Providence metro market, home buyers in this area need $65,000 plus more now than they did back in 2020.
Significant.
It is. And so, I got this chart here. I'm sure Nate Dogg will edit it right into the video for the people listening. Sorry. But going forward, that covers that topic. Let's jump on. Homeowners today. Another reason why we're in the situation we're in. Homeowners today are staying in their homes twice as long as they did in 2005. What were you, like 9 years old in 2005?
2005?
Yeah.
I was 16. I was driving around.
Seriously, 16?
Yeah.
Wow.
I was driving.
Okay. Baby.
Anyways.
All right. So more older Americans are aging in place. So Phil, sell your house.
Those boomers are stubborn.
They are stubborn,
Yeah.
man. I tell you,
They won't let go.
they are.
Those poor millennials and Gen Z are just get out.
Exactly. It's time to move on. Go to Florida.
Yeah.
Damn. All right. So the typical U.S. homeowner, John, are you cheating? You're reading now. You're catching up on the pre-show prep.
No, I read it before.
Okay. The typical U.S. homeowner has spent 11.9 years in their home, and that is up 6.5 years from 2 decades ago.
Yeah,
That's a pretty big jump.
absolutely.
Why?
I think it's a combination of events. I would say right now, I think the lock-in effect has a lot to do with it. And you see it. We know contractors. We see it out there. We talk to clients. We talk to lenders. We talk to contractors. I'm doing it myself, where a number of years ago, people bought their first or their second house. The family grew. They would move up. They would sell. They would take their proceeds. They would roll it into another house, ultimately getting into their forever home. And now, between prices and rates, we're seeing a lot of people out there who are saying, if I just had one more room, I'd be all set. And they're doing some home renovations, whether it be upgrades or a small addition. You put in a pool.
You're talking
I'm putting
about
a small addition on.
Just going there.
Yeah.
I mean, I love my house. Got a great house. But my wife and I, we have 2 girls, and we only have 3 bedrooms, but it's a good-sized house. And we're like, hey, listen, having a guest room or having a home office that's not below grade in a bunker downstairs, where I can't see the light of day.
It's a nice bunker.
It is a nice bunker, but, no windows in the basement. I'm down in the basement. Again, first world problems, not the end of the world.
Yeah.
But, if the right situation came up, we were ready to make a move. Prices kept going up. We refinanced into an insanely low mortgage rate at 15-year mortgage. And it's like we're very fortunate to be where we're at. And to make a move into a house that would suit what we wanted, that our house currently doesn't provide, would be astronomical. And the market just kind of kept rising. Rates went to where they did. And now it's like, all right, well, let's make this house as nice as we possibly can and renovate it and go from there. So I'm sure there's
Yeah.
a lot of people in that same exact situation.
Yeah. So this is all a big snowball effect, leading to that lack of supply.
Absolutely. So, also got some specific numbers for our Providence market, not Providence the city, but the metro market. Homeowners in that market had a median tenure in their homes of 16.3 years compared to the national average of 11.9. That's up from 15.6 years in 2022. So it's an even worse problem here locally.
The Rhode Island boomers are even worse.
So, John, you hear people all the time, well, I'm not going to buy a house. The prices are insane. Rates are insane. They're really not historically, but,
Nope.
that's a conversation for another day.
Yep.
But the market's going to crash, right? I mean, man, talks of a potential recession, maybe not a recession. I don't know, but I think the market's going to crash. What do you say to that, JT?
Usually start and ask, what they're referring to.
What makes you say that? A little Phil M. Jones on him?
Yeah, as we like to say, the market did crash, friends. The market crashed last year.
It did.
But it crashed as far as total sales. You see, prices are still going up because of a big supply and demand issue that I don't see a resolution to in the near future.
Everything we just discussed.
So
At least 4 million units short. That's not changing.
yeah. Think back to 2020. How many people were saying, oh my God, lines down the street. This is bananas. It's going to crash. Something's got to give. I'm going to wait for that and get a deal. How much appreciation have they missed out on?
A ton.
So for all those people who are still thinking that, saying it's going to crash, I'm going to wait, you're going to miss out on a lot more appreciation.
Absolutely. And one thing I think we have a little bit of a recency bias on is so many of us, myself included, I got licensed in 2006, lived through the Great Recession of 2008, 2009, 2010. And obviously, as crazy it is, I mean, we're already, almost 15 years? Yeah, we are 15 years from there.
Yeah.
So people have that in the back of their mind still, and they expect that to happen again. Whereas I have this chart here on the next page that Nate will edit in, courtesy of our friends over at Keeping Current Matters. In the last 6 recessions, home values actually increased in 4 of the last 6 recessions. Increased.
Yep.
They went down just dramatically in 2008. The other time they went down was in 1991, and they only dipped 1.9%.
There's a big difference between right now and 2008, isn't there?
Huge difference. And it's the exact opposite effect. Then we had an oversupply of homes available. Maybe not the best lending standards,
You could say that.
myself included. I got approved for a mortgage before ever having any income. It was basically fog and mirror, and I got that mortgage. Lucky I didn't get foreclosed on. But yes, it is quite different. There was an insane oversupply of homes available. Obviously, all the foreclosures. And I know people want to say they're coming back. You look at the stats, it's just not there.
No.
It's not.
No.
So, I mean, again, I think 2008 was the anomaly, not every single other recession where home prices typically went up, or if there was a dip, it was a very small one.
Agreed. Supply and demand is going to keep the prices increasing. And not to mention, you talk about foreclosures. Think of the equity people have. If people run into trouble, not all, but the large majority are going to be able to cash out and take their proceeds.
Yeah. How many times did we go on appointments early in our career and you'd go to the appointment knowing there was no way in hell they could sell the property?
Yeah.
There's no way.
Right.
You know they paid for it. You know what it's worth. And there's no equity. They're upside down.
Yep.
Whereas now, heaven forbid you lose a job. Heaven forbid you run across health issues. If you had to sell, 95, probably more, 98%, 99% of people are going to be able to get out whole and probably make money.
Yeah.
So if you have to, you're in a good spot.
Absolutely.
Let's move on to mortgage rates in recessions, John. What happens to mortgage rates?
Mortgage rates.
No cheating. No eyes. Eyes up. Eyes up.
Eyes up. I'll just gaze over there at your coffee. Man, that looks good.
It is delicious. It's a little French toast flavored iced coffee. Are you an iced coffee in the winter guy?
Oh, yeah. Give me a nice coffee and a January blizzard all day. Anyways, mortgage rates. They go down.
Nathan's sticking his tongue out over there. He's a hot coffee guy. Year round? Oh, you're like an old man. Yep. I'm an old man. We can get into that if we want to. But you are, that's screaming old man.
That's it's like serial killer.
Oh, wow. I wouldn't have gone that far. I'm a hot coffee from like November 15th till about March 1st. And
That's
right about now.
awfully specific.
Well, I mean, it was approximate. It wasn't like I have a calendar appointment set in my phone. Like, oh, it's hot coffee time.
November 15th. Golly gee, let's warm up the coffee.
It's very much temperature based. Like,
Speaking-
if we're like 25 degrees or under, I'm going hot. If we're 25 degrees or over, I'm going iced. That's what I do. That's how I roll. You got a problem with it, John?
I do. Iced coffee year round. You're in New England. Buck
You're
up, pal.
Trenta iced coffee. Is that what it is?
Trying to ice black.
Why can't they just say XL? Like, I love Starbucks. I got Starbucks gift cards. What's up with the sizes?
I don't know. Just know the lingo.
Yeah, okay.
Don't be that guy in line that's like, I don't understand what the size
Johnny
are.
Bravo over here. All right, moving on. Let's move on to the wild card.
Oh.
I put a TV show because you're a Patriots fan. I'm a Patriots fan.
Die
I'm a
hard.
football fan. You're a football fan.
Yep.
We talk about football almost as much as we talk about Taylor Swift, which we can't let a podcast go without mentioning her. But you haven't even watched this. How have you not watched the Dynasty? I threw it on here like I haven't watched it.
So I
We're
like
like
sports.
7 episodes in.
I like sports.
You're too
I
busy
like
with
football.
Love Is Blind. Is that the problem?
I haven't been watching Love Is Blind.
Oh, that's
Do you want to know what I've been
BS,
doing?
John.
Because my wife is not happy about this.
The 5 a.m. club.
I've been going to bed or falling asleep on the couch because I'm getting up at 5 o'clock every morning to FaceTime with you.
What's the other one you watch with all the nimwits down there?
You're gonna have to be more specific.
I don't know. They're all in the house together in the summer house.
Summer House?
Yeah.
That's not down there. That's at the Hamptons.
I don't know, man. You gotta get off of Bravo.
I love Bravo.
Something else. This guy.
Yeah, Below Deck. Love Is
You
Blind
haven't watched
on
the
Netflix.
Dynasty. I mean, it's like
Vanderpump.
It's like, oh my goodness.
But anyways, the Dynasty. So
you
like
can't add
you said,
to it. Let's put it off. Let's punt it. No pun intended. Definitely pun intended.
Well, I was gonna share why I've actually been delaying, but
Go
I was
ahead.
gonna give it a
Finish.
chance after you. Smart ass. So I like sports. I like football. I listen to a lot of sports talk radio. It's all they've been talking about on Felger and Maz, and they're just ripping it to pieces. So it doesn't sound very enjoyable.
It's worth the watch.
All right.
We'll recap once it's over, but catch up. Come on.
Right.
All right. Speaking of, on to the next topic. We were down in Orlando for
We were.
Tom Ferry's Elite Retreat.
We were.
You went a little early to enjoy the mouse.
I did. I thought we were going to, but yes, I did anyways.
Well, let's backtrack this story really quick. So we discussed possibly both going down early.
Your idea.
My idea, 100% agree. Not denying that.
Yeah.
We discussed the possibility of both of our families going down early to enjoy Disney World, the land of Walt. Not the land, the world. Together.
Walt's World.
And it was just a discussion, a valid discussion, but there's one thing that you lack quite a bit of.
Patience.
Patience. Is you just booked it without even like confirming details.
I get
you
excited.
just hit the button.
Get excited.
And then I went to go price it out for my family, which was a bit bigger than your family currently, and it was astronomical. And I mean, we're not all as loaded as you, John.
Please. You're going to have to move or put an addition on so you can have a whole room for all your new Jordans, pal.
Oh, please.
But
please.
anyways, I went to, I did spend some time in Disney, and you're a big rides guy.
I am a big rides
I
guy.
can't get on, like, Tron, no. Like, I cannot
Total
get
wimp.
on some of these big rides.
The Disney ride.
I told you, the look on your face when I was like, if you ever gone on Mission Space, you almost dropped your drink. You're like, you went on Mission Space?
Not only the mission space, you went on the intense mission
Oh, yeah,
space, not
Mars.
the easy one.
So what happened is Jen and I had done the green, the light version.
Yeah.
And I said, oh, this isn't bad. It's kind of boring. I bet we could do the other one. How much worse could it be?
It's a lot worse.
And we're in line and they keep saying, like, did you read the warnings? Did you get motion
They're
sickness?
plastered everywhere.
And I'm thinking, like, all right, these people need to relax. Like, is this all part of their shtick, trying to get you all nervous? We get into this thing. They tilt you backwards and they fire you up into space. Unbelievable. I never again. They talk about the G-force.
Did you puke?
I didn't puke, but I could feel like the veins in my neck being rearranged, the pressure on my chest. They want you to pick your arms up and push buttons. I couldn't move my arms up. The force was that real.
That has zero.
It was awful. Don't do it.
I have no interest.
Nope.
No interest.
Terrible.
So anyway, we're a couple of Disney dads. We enjoy going
Yeah.
to Disney with the family. You don't only get so many years. I mean, I'm already at the tail end of it, and you're just kind of getting rolling.
Yep.
But have you been to Disneyland?
Nope.
This isn't going to be as good then, but rank your Disney parks. What do you got? What's the John Tatro ranking of Disney World?
So I'll preface this by saying I think anytime now, I'm struggling with 1 and 2. I got to be honest.
Well, I mean, you're not even really qualified to vote on this and clam chowder.
You say I'm not qualified to vote on anything, so just
Well,
relax.
you didn't go on Guardians of the Galaxy or Test Track. You went on Mission Space, and in between two of the best rides in Epcot. How could you possibly vote?
You said Mission Space was the toughest ride in Disney.
The worst ride in Disney.
I've been on it. You haven't. So I think I'm more qualified, actually.
All right,
so
we'll see what people say in the comments on that one.
Anyways, I have historically spent most of my time in Epcot. Drink around the world. I like their fireworks shows.
Alcoholic.
And not really. and I usually stay in a hotel right there, so I like kind of just wandering out the back of Epcot at night, maybe enjoy the boardwalk or hop on the Skyliner. But having
You love the Skyliner. You talk about the Skyliner more than anybody I've ever met.
love the Skyliner. It's the easiest way to get around down there now.
I don't know.
Whereas Magic Kingdom, which is probably going to be my number one now. You have to take the monorail or a bus, big lines. But I'm going to say Magic Kingdom 1, Epcot 2, Hollywood Studios 3, Animal Kingdom 4.
Animal Kingdom last.
Yes.
That's terrible.
I didn't even go this time. Unless we could get on Flight of Passage, we were like, nah.
Nope.
No
That's
need.
an inaccurate ranking. I'll agree. I'm going to go full all Disney parks because I had the joy and pleasure of visiting Disneyland for the first time
Okay.
last year after our NAR conference out in Anaheim. Extended that one with my family. So I'm going to go top park in the world, not the world, but in this country as Epcot. I agree. I love Epcot. Country's fantastic. I mean,
Yeah.
I do my Christmas tradition is now based around the countries of Epcot. We do a different theme every year at Christmas. The parents love that one. Last time they showed up and it was Mexico. We did Norway last. It was great. So anyway, Epcot numero uno. Did the numero uno again. I thought I could avoid that. Epcot number 1. Number 2, I'm torn, but my next 2 parks are not actually in Disney World. They're in Disneyland.
Oh, boy.
Yes. Yeah, I'm going to go. I got to go a little bit of nostalgia. I'm going to go Disneyland number 2.
Okay.
And people hate on Disneyland. I love Disneyland. It's like Magic Kingdom with a smaller castle, a little bit easier to walk, and there's Star Wars land in the back. So I mean, it's like, how can you go wrong there?
I'm not a Star Wars guy. Maybe that's it.
I wasn't really either, but still, it's fun. There's a couple of good rides, and I've gotten into Star Wars back in COVID when my daughter got into Star Wars, so I actually did then too myself. But I'm going Disneyland number 2. I'm going California Adventure number 3. Fantastic rides, Incredicoaster. It's kind of got a little bit of an Epcot vibe to it too.
Okay.
Then I'm circling back, and I'm going Animal Kingdom,
Whoa.
Hollywood Studios. And coming in last is Magic Kingdom.
You have Magic Kingdom last?
God damn, I hate the monorail. I hate the boat. It's a pain.
That's what I'm
It's
saying.
so
That's
difficult to get over there.
That's why I like the Skyliner.
It's always so crowded.
Yeah.
It's just like, shoulder to shoulder. And
Yeah.
it's like the fireworks of Magic Kingdom are awesome. Everything else, I'll leave it at the door.
Yep.
But Animal Kingdom is a lot better.
That's why I'm saying.
You got to explore
The
it.
Skyliner, you're going to love it.
Zillow, good friends over at the Z. 10 most popular search terms in 2023 that buyers are looking for. What is the number 1 search term?
Number 1 search term. Buyers are looking for a...
Should we go backwards, actually? Is backwards a little bit better?
Yeah, let's do backwards.
10 to 1?
Yeah.
Number 10.
Number 10, the 10th most search term that buyers are looking for in a new home on Zillow.
Granite countertops.
Granite countertops. This kind of surprised me. I thought the granite countertop stainless steel appliances bit was getting old.
I think granite's a little outdated at this point. So
Yeah.
still, I mean, I'm not sure how many people know the difference between granite and quartz and quartzite and stuff
Yeah.
like that. But yeah, I agree with you there. Number 9.
Number 9, basement.
Basements. I mean, we take them for granted around here. We do have some areas that don't have basements. You know, Buttonwoods has a bunch
Very
of
few.
slab ranches. But yeah, it's kind of a way of life for us. But number 8,
Number 8 is a family room.
family room. I love a good family room, man.
Me too.
Man, kick it back. Watch a little bit of the Dynasty.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm heading one onto my house.
Number 7.
Number 7, that swimming pool that the
Swimming
Slocums
pool.
are putting in.
That's right. I cannot wait to swim in that pool in the summertime and just cool off.
Anyways, number 6, buyers are looking for An open concept.
I think this is going. I hear more people say, I don't want an open floor plan.
What, they want boxes back?
They want boxes
Put the
back.
walls back
yeah,
up?
they're like, I want to cook in my kitchen and not have my living room stink. Like, I don't know. I mean, people don't want the open floor plan.
I hate to break it to you.
Yeah.
Your smelly cooking's going to get around the wall.
I mean, it could, but in general, I hear more and more people say they want defined spaces, not that open floor plan. That's my experience working with buyers recently. What is your experience?
I'm still hearing people say they want the open concept.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your buyers will smarten up. All right. Patio.
Patio.
Number
Very
5.
nice feature.
Number 5.
Yep. Very nice feature.
Speaking of patios, they're expensive, man.
Yeah.
I'm doing the landscaping right now.
Yeah.
Around the pool.
Yeah.
And I got a couple of quotes. I'm super thrilled with who I'm going with. But boy, oh boy, man, the pool was the cheap part. Crazy.
Yeah. Better
Crazy.
than a deck. A few years ago, I had the debate, and I got quotes for a deck and a patio, and the patio ended up being a third of the price of the deck quote.
Just wild.
Yeah.
Just wild.
Yeah.
Number 4. That was strange.
Walk-in closet.
Walk-in closet. Yep. Need those. Keep the wife happy.
Yeah.
Number 3, fireplace. I love a good
Fireplace.
fireplace. Are you a
Absolutely.
wood-burning fireplace guy or a gas fireplace guy?
I'm gonna go gas. I love a good wood fire, but it's a mess. It's a lot of work in the house.
Yeah. We're getting old. I think this is like the transition
Yeah.
as we just continue to age. You know, we'll talk about the death clock in a little
Yeah.
bit, but I mean, we're getting up there.
Yeah.
It's not worth the time anymore.
I
Flip
had
the
a fire
switch.
pit put into my patio, and I enjoy sitting by that.
Yeah.
You know, then when you're done, just hit the hose.
That's it.
You know.
Easy peasy. Number 2,
Backyard.
In
Number
unison.
1. Number 1. Anybody guess what it is?
This kind of surprises me.
Yeah, I guess in the Northeast, especially because it's your number 1 place for clutter.
Garage.
Garage.
That's the top search term on Zillow. Recap: garage, fireplace, walk-in closet, patio, open floor plan, pool, family room, basement, and granite counters. Let's move on.
I was excited reading this because I have an upcoming listing, and I was like, check, 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 check.
That's a nice one.
Can't wait to write that description.
It's a beauty.
Yep.
Can't wait to see that one.
Absolutely.
All right, as fast as it came, that's how fast it went. Say sayonara, adios. Rhode Island Housing's $17,500 down payment assistance grant.
Gone.
Adios.
Done. And just like that, it's gone.
What they replace it with? Well, not replace it with, but what is
Great
what's the-
news.
what's the pivot?
They do still have a $15,000 0% interest program. And if I was reading it correctly, there's not even a monthly payment on it. It is due when you refinance or sell the home.
Can we get an emergency podcast guest to come in and talk about this?
I bet we could.
Let's do it. All right, we have a historical moment in the Shootin' the SHT podcast right now. The very first guest is actually not even in the room,
No.
but she's calling in. She's calling in.
It was phone a friend day.
Phone a friend. So JT started talking about mortgage products, and I got very nervous. And I was like, hey, listen, we've got a mortgage lender literally like 20 yards away from us. Let's bring her in. And tell us about the fleeting...
Welcome, first of all. Welcome, Aman
Yes.
Daniels, Movement Mortgage, the Delmonico team.
I was going to get there. Can you just please stop stepping on my toes, John? Anyway, the 17.5 grant, we just let everybody know it is gone. Sayonara. What do you got?
It is gone.
What's the dealio?
Yes. So thank you for bringing me on today, and I'm very excited to be your first guest on the Shooting the SHT podcast with you guys.
Tell us about yourself. What are some of your
17
favorite things? Do you like long walks on the beach or...
I like long walks to the winery, and playing with my son. Those are my two
Nice.
favorite things.
Very
And, nice.
nice.
My husband, my dogs, all the good stuff. Can't forget them.
She also likes getting offers in on time.
She
So
does.
we gotta move
She is
on.
up against an offer deadline right now, so she's not too happy that we sprung this surprise on her. But tell us a little bit about what happened and what they're offering now and what that means for buyers in the Rhode Island marketplace.
Yeah, totally. So, yes, obviously the grant program was a wonderful program. It was a great opportunity for first-time home buyers to get into the market. I think we're dealing with some affordability issues here in Rhode Island, and I think it really helps people to feel like, okay, maybe I can get into this now. While we have depleted the funds in the grant program, Rhode Island Housing did announce, in conjunction with letting everyone know that the funds have been depleted, they have come out with an updated down payment assistance program. So if you qualified for the grant program, you would qualify for this new $15,000 down payment assistance program. It is a silent second mortgage, meaning that you're not paying it every single month. It sits there as a silent second mortgage, exactly that. And if you sell the property, refinance the property, or essentially if that loan no longer exists at some point in time, that's when that $15,000 gets paid back. So the nice thing is that you're not seeing a huge difference from a number standpoint, because the numbers are very close. You're talking about 15,000 versus 17.5. Obviously it does get paid back at some point in time, but for people who are looking to get into the market, and again, like with affordability being the issue that it is, it's still a great opportunity for first-time home buyers to be able to get into the market and feel like they're getting some sort of an assistance that's actually going to benefit them.
That's awesome.
I
Great
couldn't have
stuff
said
there.
it. I mean, my goodness, that was just beautifully said.
Beautiful.
Aman. Great work.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thanks for jumping on.
Yeah,
How can people
thank
find
you.
you, Aman?
They can find me at, they can find me here at your office.
Most
a lot
days,
of the
that's
days.
true. Yeah.
They can also find me on Instagram, Aman.Daniels. They can find me on Facebook. They can call me, text me, email. I answer every single thing as needed. And I'm always happy to talk to new buyers. So, any way that someone wants to get in touch with me, I will always answer them.
Well, get ready for the flood of new followers. We have like 3 people who listen to the podcast, so you are about to get inundated with follow requests. So
This will
I
be on-
can't wait.
We'll get
Thank
it
you,
on a
guys.
reel.
absolutely.
Thanks, Aman.
Thanks, Aman.
Bye.
Bye. Good luck with the offer. Thank you, Aman Daniels, for being our first guest on the pod. That was wonderful. Thank you for your insight. Leading right into our next topic, actually, mortgage rates. This week saw the lowest rates in 3 weeks. As it stands right now, March 6th, 2:44 p.m., the current average 30-year fixed rate, according to Mortgage News Daily, is
6.97.
love that. I like that a lot
Less
better
than
than
1
a 7
point
handle.
to go.
Yes. So there's a highly anticipated jobs report that is being released on Friday. Typically, depending on the news there, rates could fluctuate dramatically depending on what is reported. So stay tuned for more updates. And by the time you listen to this, it may have already changed quite a bit. So we'll see what happens. But as of now, Wednesday, back in the 6s. Good news there.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Updated home price forecast. Obviously, they're reading a lot of the same stuff we are on a dramatic undersupply, the demand, looking at all the different stats across the country. And we've already got some revised forecasts. In the first podcast, we shared and revealed quite a few of the leading players in the industry and their home price forecast for 2024. I believe we had a side bet for a steak dinner at the Capitol Grill on the annual appreciation being, I took the over 2%, I believe, and you took the under.
There's no way I would have taken the under
I'm
there.
pretty sure you took the under on that one.
That must have been one of the times where you kicked and screamed, and went, I wanted to take the
Check
over.
the tape. Check the tape. I'm going to say 2.5%.
Okay.
I'm going to go over.
You're going to take over 2.5% in Rhode Island.
Yeah. Are we good?
I tend to agree with you, but I will take the under.
Anyway, 2024 home price forecast already being updated. Goldman Sachs, original forecast for this year, 1.9%. Currently, they've updated it to 5% appreciation.
It's a big change.
Mortgage Bankers Association, originally 1.1% appreciation, now 4.1% appreciation. Zillow originally said things would be pretty flat, 0.2% appreciation. They have updated their forecast to 3.5% appreciation nationwide. Fannie Mae up to 3.2 from 2.8. Freddie Mac up to 2.8 from 2.6. And home price expectation survey, they don't like to change and admit they're wrong. They said 2.2 and they're now at 2.4. And the National Association of Realtors originally said 0.7 and now they are at 1.9% appreciation. Average of all of those, 3.27% appreciation. Buy now and refi later? Or should you continue to wait on the sidelines, John?
I'm going to say buy now and refi later, but I don't want that to be confused with the whole, marry the house, date the rate. There's a key here.
Yep.
You have to be comfortable.
Yes.
If you can buy now
Mm-hmm.
and you're comfortable with your down payment, you're comfortable with your monthly payment, and you love the home that you are buying, you should absolutely buy now and you can refi later, because I think prices are only going in one direction. Forecasts say rates are going in the opposite direction, and it will award you the opportunity to secure today's price and get tomorrow's rate if they do in fact go down. However, don't put yourself in an uncomfortable position today banking on that happening later. Make sure you're comfortable today.
That's worthy of applause. So
Thank
great.
you. Thank you.
Great work there. Great work. I couldn't agree with you more. If the numbers make sense right now, the numbers make sense. If we see 3%, 4%, 5% appreciation, and we just looked at those stats for Rhode Island, I mean, we're looking at, statewide 13.7% appreciation year over year. How long is this in the sidelines? I mean, there's a reason and an excuse as to reasons not to buy and not start gaining equity every year, no matter what it is. The pandemic, rates hitting a certain number, lack of inventory, yada, yada, yada. The list goes on. Logan Motoshami, I believe is how you pronounce it.
Logan Motoshami.
Motoshami. He is from Housing Wire, an economist. He recently put out a tweet of all the excuses dating back to 2012 as to why people sat on the sidelines. And it's just every year there's something. Uncle Teddy at the table always telling you, don't buy it out because of this. And what have we seen? Appreciation every single year since then. I don't know about you, but I wish I could hop in the DeLorean, go back to 2012, and leverage myself to the gills and buy every single piece of property possible.
Uncle Teddy has cost people multiple six figures worth of appreciation over the last few years.
That's true.
Thanks, Uncle Teddy.
Thanks, Uncle Teddy. Yeah. Take your turkey leg and shove it, Uncle Teddy.
Moving on, Rhode
You
Island.
didn't like that? Sorry.
All that.
Oh, my God. This new slogan. What do you think of this thing, John?
It's better than, what was it? Cooler, warmer?
Cooler and warmer.
Warmer and cool.
Cooler and warmer, I think it was.
Yeah.
Awful. Awful slogan. How much did they spend on this?
I saw the number.
Did you?
It was way too much.
What was it?
Or no, did I see the one for, yeah. So the Zimmerman Agency was awarded $2.2 million.
That's how we're spending our taxpayers'
contract
dollars.
for
$2.2 million to come up with all that.
The Zimmerman Agency was awarded a $2.2 million contract for advertising work in June of 2023, which included the $482,000 cost for the All That campaign.
That's awful. All that. Man, what's the best state slogan? We can do better. What's the best state slogan, John? You nothing? You know no state slogans? Beaches and wieners.
I had one in my head earlier. I don't know if it was just in my head or if we were talking about it. And I was.
Is Virginia for Lovers? Is that Virginia's for Lovers? Is that a state slogan or is that just a license plate thing?
Do you want to hear more that's going to make you feel all warm and fuzzy?
Oh, I can't wait. Bring it on.
A plan spawned in 2023 to spread awareness of Rhode Island through a traveling exhibit featuring life-size stuffy sculptures, part of a larger $4.4 million marketing campaign.
Whoa, life-size stuffy sculptures?
You hadn't heard about that?
No.
Oh, they're traveling. Traveling
my God.
life-sized stuffy sculptures.
Who hires these people?
I don't know, but there's some money involved.
I mean, it should be hot wieners.
the traveling weenie wagon.
Just go around with a food truck, Sam's New York system, and just give
go.
everybody free hot wieners. It'd be a lot better way to spend that money.
There we go. Your love and I'm going to call addiction to hot wieners had me a little worried about you. And I think that may be factoring into our next topic and your result.
It's bad. So we were at this conference, and Tom Ferry brought up the death clock.
Mm-hmm.
It is a website that you can visit, enter some key information, and find out exactly the day you are going to die.
I believe it's the hour.
It might be the hour. I don't know. But anyway, I saw my date. I got a little nervous. 2061. It's barreling down. It's coming here quick.
Oh, yeah.
So his whole thought was, basically you only have this amount of time left. You want to obviously maximize it. You need to have a sense of urgency with your life, with your family, with your friends, with your relationships, with your business. And I agree to an extent. And it's also, what can you do to improve that? But yes, eating hot wieners every day during my senior year of high school was certainly not helping. Did not help.
No.
So I'm going to apparently die earlier than you are. And that I'm a competitive guy.
We have an age gap, though. So,
It upset me.
We're probably going to go down together.
No, actually, it's going to be quite a ways away, right? Because I'm going to be dying earlier and I'm older than you, according to the death clock.
Oh, true. Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry, pal. I'll miss you.
Thank God he passed the real estate exam.
Oh, boy.
So anyway,
I
2061.
was trying to make you feel better, but
Thank
yeah.
you. So since then, both John and I were like, damn,
Dang.
what can we do to improve our lifestyle, our health a little bit, and hopefully grab a few more years? I mean,
Yeah.
we can't all be as fortunate as our lovely producer off to my left, your right, Nathan David Walker, who punched it in and was going to live till he's 111 years old.
111.
Is that Is that serious?
He also lied. He did dry January and he told that he never drinks alcohol.
Meanwhile, he threw a bottle of bourbon back at your house in December.
It wasn't just December, it was New Year's weekend.
Oh, okay. No, I don't drink. No, officer.
Never,
Yeah.
never.
So, yeah. All right, death clock. Drop in the comments. Would you want to know the day you're going to die? Depressing. Man, I thought this was going to be a little bit better of a conversation, but what do you think, Nate?
I found it inspiring.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm ready to live. I'm ready to improve.
Live free or die, baby.
I'm going to extend that. You want to bleep? You ready? I'm going to extend that. Good timing.
Oh, jeez. This is for kids. Come on. It's supposed to be a PG podcast. Oh, boy. All right. Death clock. So John and I are basically now 5 a.m. accountability buddies. We
That's
get
right.
up, we hop on a little FaceTime, Google Meet type thing, and just make sure that each other are out of bed and on that treadmill, trying
right.
to shed some LBs because we both certainly could stand to do so.
Sure.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, every time you sit in that chair, I worry about you. Got to adjust your sweater, uncover the rolls.
Absolutely. I'm getting old.
Hey, pal.
Getting old.
Mr. Gout. Anyways, rate the podcast.
He's throws stones, man. Just throwing stones.
What are you giving it?
I think we had a little bit of an edge to us today. I mean,
You did.
I'm not sure how much is going to make the final edit. We went a little bit off topic a couple times. I think we're getting a good feel for it.
All right.
We're getting there. I'm going to go 7-3. That was me changing my.
Yeah, I feel guilty not giving it a 7, but my first reaction was 6-8.
You
You're-
had a guess. You had your first guess.
We did have our first guess.
We did have all right, 7-1.
I'm sticking with 7-3.
7-1.
I think we said 7-7 last time. It might be
I think
better.
the last one was better.
We'll find out. Let us know.
I think this one's funnier.
Nate thinks it's funnier. Anyway, thanks
Let
for
us
tuning
know.
in. I feel like that was a quick one,
Yeah.
but hey, it is what it is. Until next time.
Let us know what you think in the comments. Was episode 2 or 3 better?
Thank you all for tuning in. Appreciate it. Can't wait to talk to you again soon. Until next time.
That's a wrap on today's episode of Shootin' the SHT. Be sure to subscribe wherever you heard this podcast so you never miss a future episode. And if you enjoyed this content, please share it with others and leave us a rating and a review. Buying, selling, or want to connect with Nick and JT? Visit Slocum Home Team on Facebook and Instagram or slocumhometeam.com. We'll see you next time.